Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the stitch of the week. So for today's stitch, I will be using my J hook or 6mm hook. This is a very old boy hook. It was gifted to me by my mom, and it belonged to my great-grandmother, so a very special hook. And we will be using some worsted weight or number 4 yarn here. It's just something that I have in my stash. Not sure what the brand is. And today's stitch I stumbled across. I thought it was easy but unique, and I'm not sure what it's called. It kind of reminds me of a linked single crochet, so maybe we'll call it that. But it's kind of like a single crochet with a twist. So let's just get going. Alright, so to do the stitch, you can chain whatever amount you want. So why don't we chain 10? So I've got my 10 chains here, and if you're wondering what all these spots are, they are not scars. I have vitiligo, and it's summer, and it always shows up more. And each year I feel like I'm getting more and more spots. So I guess it's a disease that Michael Jackson had, and that very beautiful, famous model Winnie Harlow. In the winter time, it doesn't show up as much because I have a lighter tone, but in the summer, there she is. So yeah, I'm not burned or anything. It's just my skin condition, and it's not contagious. So anyway, let's move on. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to work a foundation row. So for row 1, you are just going to single crochet across. So we have 10 chains. So we're going to work in the second chain from our hook. You can work in your chain however you like, and we're just going to single crochet all the way across. So at the end of my row 1, I will have a total of 9 single crochet. And there we go. So we have our 9 single crochet. So this is just our foundation row to get us going. So to begin, row 2 is going to be the repeat. So you're going to work a regular row of single crochet for your first row, and then the remaining rows will be the actual stitch pattern. So we're chaining 1 and returning our work. So in your very first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet. And now we're going to start with the linking. So what you want to do is you're going to insert your hook right in that same stitch, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch, and pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook, and you're going to slip the first 2 here. So we're not going to do any yarn overs. You're just going to slip that middle loop over your hook, and you'll have your two loops left on your hook. I was combining loops and hook, and it was coming out hoops, so they're not hoops, they're loops. Alright, so let's yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops, and now we've created that link. Alright, so now we're just going to repeat that. You're going to go right back into that same stitch, pull up a stitch, go into the next stitch, pull up a stitch, and you have your 3 loops on your hook. So we're going to slip the first 2 just like that, and we're going to yarn over and pull through the remaining 2, and we're just repeating. So with this stitch pattern, you want to have a slightly looser hand when you're working. You don't want to be super tight, which I tend to be a tighter crocheter, so I have to watch myself. So I'm at my last stitch here, and just working that last one. So you should have 9 stitches just like we started. So let's count just to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do indeed have 9 there. So it looks almost like a regular single crochet, but just slightly different. It has a little bit of texture there. So we're going to work row 3. So as I said, row 2 is the repeating row. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and in your first stitch you work a regular single crochet. And then we start the linking. And just do that all the way across. So a very easy stitch. Again, it's almost like a regular single crochet, just adds a little bit of interest, a little bit of texture. I think this would be a nice stitch for like a dishcloth, you know, like a scrubby, because it does have a couple little, like it's a little bumpy, and those kind of stitches are nice for that. But you could also use it for a blanket. I mean, it could be fun in a hat. You could use it for a lot of different things, you know, especially if you kind of get sick of just doing a regular single crochet. It's just a kind of fun little variation to kind of mix it up a little bit. Alright, so there is row 3. So I'm just going to go off camera, work a few more rows, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I worked 8 rows of this stitch pattern, and as you can see, it is reversible, so that's always nice. So it doesn't look a whole lot different from single crochet, but just slightly has a nice little wrapped feature there, as you can see. And as I said before, it does have like a nice texture to it, so it really would be a nice stitch for a dishcloth, a little scrubby, or just, you know, those blankets that you just want to have that nice texture to it. So I hope you enjoyed this stitch of the week, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.